I take that. We got 12 posts in Cradle control.
Jon Asensio on Cradle control against Pablo Diez on 12 post. Dude, 12 post is a deck that actually both of those decks have changed a lot recently, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there might be the decks that got the boosted the most with the Modern Horizons 3 set. Cradle control got the powerful Void of Reliquary, which is kind of like the, the small brother of Knight of Reliquary, but you get to sacrifice creatures instead of lands. And it also got a powerful inclusion in Talon Gates of Madara, which is the new land that when it enters the battlefield, you can phase out target creature.
Can you remind the viewers actually how phasing works again? Because that was an ability that was gone for like a quarter of a century from Magic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like phasing is a really weird ability. Like it basically treats one of your creatures, or like one of the creatures, in a way that it doesn't exist until the player untaps. Again,
so it doesn't like trigger Leaf's play abilities. It doesn't trigger like constant play abilities. Somebody once explained it to me. Imagine somebody just put their hand on the card, and it's just not there. You don't see it. And then when it faces back in your upkeep or beginning of your turn, you just remove the hand and it's back there.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Let's see how that goes. On the other side, 12 post. If you had told me that 12 post is not playing Primeval Titan anymore, I was going to call it Green Evil Titan, Primeval Titan anymore, I would have not believed you. But most of those lists that we see today, like usually like true futurism lists, what's his name again from France? He's like probably the famous 12 post player. I think they don't play that card anymore. Instead, they play, what's it called, Microspan, Eldrazi Microspan, the new one that basically like destroys one of the opponent's lands if you pay the kicker, and you also get to search your library and put it into play untapped. All of those things. But instead, well, this one's not going to do all that much against Jon. Are they? I mean, most of your free spells that you don't pay mana for, you play those once upon a time early on, right?
Ooh, check this out. This is also brand new from the Modern Horizons 3 set. It's a Springleaf Nantuko. Springheart Nantuko. Excuse me more. And we already have the first landfall trigger here. Getting a 1/1 insect. Dude, this Cradle taps for 3 mana on turn 2.
That's not even fair, right?
Is that, how crazy is that?
Oh, and we're gonna see. We're just gonna hardcast this one once upon a time. Yeah, so the Springheart Natuko is really interesting because you can bestow it onto a creature, right? That's the ability that became a thing in the what's it called? The Greek block, a couple of actually 10 years ago. Yeah, the Theros.
Yeah.
So it becomes a creature enchantment, and then when the creature dies, it still hangs around as a creature. And this one, it doesn't enchant anything, right? But because if it did enchant something, then on a landfall trigger, you could pay 2 mana, make a copy. Instead, we just get the regular landfall thing for this one, which is like you make a 1/1 insect token whenever a land comes to play on your turn. And we follow it up.
Which is still pretty good with Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at the Cradle, right? You already talked about how it made 3 mana on the second turn. Next turn, we're going to have like at least 4, 5, 6 mana, I believe.
Yeah, there is already the natural order. So, like, Pablo Diez, like, really, like, in a tough spot already on turn 2. I saw there is a crop rotation in their hand, so crop rotation can get something like a Tabernacle of Pendraveil, which kind of slows down Jon for a little bit, but, Gaia's Cradle, like the perfect counterpart to that land as well. So
yeah, and it also like makes Pablo sacrifice half of his mana-producing lands, so... This is like between a rock and a hard place, and I'm not even sure if there's anything you can do, because tempo-wise this is just too much. Checking out that. That's basically the new land that has like all the land types, right?
It has all the land types, and the mana base has changed quite a bit in that build. Like, we do see 4 copies of Urza's Tower and Tower only. And this might actually be like the very first time in Magic history that a deck has only Urza's Towers and no mines and no power plants.
Oh, dude, you know what you might actually be... We're like, because of the this is like an Urza's Mine and Urza's Power Plant and everything, the tower actually taps for 3 here. And then we can cast the Myco Spawn and get the Tabernacle you talked about and put that into play.
That's possible. That's
the ring.
Okay. Or
we could also just outright just like become invincible for a turn. That sounds like... Yeah, I like that. Get the extra card.
Yeah.
This is insane, actually, when you think about it. This is Legacy, and we just casually had 4 mana on the second turn.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of a crop rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, a lot of like mana acceleration on both sides, right? Like, you have the Gaia's Cradle on the one side and the Urza's Tower on the other side. Both decks can go really big with a lot of mana. The Cradle control usually, like, it has Green Sun Zenith in it. You know, you can power a Green Sun Zenith X7 or 8 for Crater Hoof or Atroxa, Grand Unifier.
You know what's actually funny? Jon actually drew the Crater Hoof for the turn, or might have even had that. So even if there was no ring, unless he runs a second copy, which is uncommon, but I mean it's not completely unthinkable, he would not be able to natural order for it. So you would have, oh, okay, I guess you would have just gotten a Atraxa in case you had that. But instead, we just literally pass back. I guess we have the Reclaimer open. Is there still something in the deck that you might want to Reclaimer at this point? I mean, you get the extra landfall trigger. I mean, that's something.
Not necessarily. You can always get a Droid Arbor maybe, or the Survey Land, Underground Mortuary for a little bit of selection.
And we're missing the black mana, right, to cast the Knight?
Oh, yeah.
The Knight is like 2 mana, right? Oh, 3 mana.
It's a 2-drop, yeah.
Oh, they made it a 2-drop. You're right,
yeah.
right. That's why it replaced Fiend Artisan in those decks, right?
Yep, it did. There are still lists that, you know, run Fiend Artisan, but you can only run this many 2-drops in your deck, and you gotta make some cuts somewhere. And like right now, like white is just an absolutely like powerhouse. Like it has vigilance and it can attack, block, all these things while also being activated for its ability.
It sounds like a card I would design. I would be like, let's give it an activated ability, but also give it vigilance.
Oh yeah. Oh
let's
yeah.
Make it do all the things. Oh, and there's a Micah spawn.
Okay.
What do you get here?
It's not kicked.
No.
So
I mean, you wouldn't really want to kick it in the face of Reclaimer anyway, right? So it's gonna be interesting. Is this gonna be like you talked about, like Tabernacle, just to slow it down? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not great, right?
That's interesting.
You do it upkeep, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, you do it right away? Interesting.
Okay.
Is that still summoning sick? Oh, it's summoning sick.
No. The Reclaimer is not summoning sick.
Yeah.
I think Pablo Diez probably missed that because Reclaimer is active and.
I mean, the only way it would make sense to me is like if you do it on Jon's upkeep, so he would not be able to use it for a turn. But now it's basically wasted.
Oh wow! This is brutal. This might actually turn the game in.
Well, I guess the game already was in his favor, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because now at this point, we actually this is hardcast Kratov at this point, right? I'm pretty sure we have enough mana.
So.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Maybe we can even afford to cast this one first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a land. Oh yeah, get a spawn token. Yeah, easy. 560,000 damage.
There is a natural Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Finish him. There we go. Just like that.
You know, take this and that. Take all of it.
I mean, it was pretty impressive from Pablo's side. Just like on the second turn, getting out the ring, facing lethal damage. That's something you don't always get to do. But I feel like especially in the first game, right, the Elf stack must be favored. Like there's not too much Trevor's can do.
I think we are already like in a racing situation. In post-cycle games, it gets a little slower, I think, on both sides because you know you can bring in a lot of more interaction. The Vexing Bauble didn't do anything in the first game. Yeah, I know why it's in the deck, but you know in this particular matchup, like it only stopped a pitched endurance. I think that's the only thing, or I guess like maybe a Once Upon a Time, you know, if you cast it for 0 mana.
Well, your opponent really has to screw up.
Yeah, yeah.
If you run your Once Upon a Time in a Vexing Bauble, something went terribly wrong.
Probably,
in that game.
yeah.
Okay, let's jump into the second game. Let's see how that plays out. On the play.
Let's do it.
Okay, Pablo sitting there on a no way there's a Crozen Grip. I totally must have missed it. I keep seeing a Crozen Grip in his hand and it can't be real. I must be seeing something. Anyway, Urcha's Tower. This is what we do in Draft Post now. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
This is like modern tech.
It's Tower Go.
Tower, like modern or extended. You know, in extended when we had those like blue Tron decks with Condescend and stuff like that. But now it's Legacy. I never would have believed that Tron would become a thing in Legacy, but here we are, getting Bayou of Verdant Catacombs. You know, I just love it when the fetch land matches the dual land.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
And looks like it's not going to be a once upon a time this time.
Oh, it's a
Thoughtseize. I like. There's actually a Crozen grip. I can't believe. What are we Crozen gripping? What are we Crozen grip? There must be something we're completely blanking on.
I honestly don't know. There is. I don't think there is. I guess you can.
Crozen grip your own ring.
The Spring Heart Natuko is an enchantment creature, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
You know what I think? I think Pablo actually had cards like Vexing Bobble that do complete or almost nothing. And he was like, I'd rather have the Crozen grip than... Which, I guess Bobble you can cycle, but still it's not amazing. So maybe that's the idea.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Crozen. What else are we actually Crozen gripping in the format? I guess Blood Moons and stuff?
I mean, Counterbalance is gone, so...
Dude, how many times have people revealed Trinket Mage to Counterbalance and I was trying to Crozen grip the Counterbalance? I'm off that. But it was a hard time. Anyway, so what actually is going on there?
But I totally see why Pablo Diez kept this hand. Like, it already has Tabernacle in hand. Tabernacle cannot be discarded here. The rest of the hand is kind of medium. Like he's lacking green mana for...
You're allowed to tell the truth. The rest of the hand is not just medium. The rest of the hand is like you're not doing anything here.
Exactly, yeah. but I think like the Tabernacle, you know, just having the Tabernacle makes sure that you get enough draw steps to eventually find a green land and to eventually make your deck work. Also, like, as you can see, like the game dynamics like much different in comparison to the first game. Like it's rather slow. There are no creatures on the field on the second turn. It's like if you compare this to the first game where Guy's Cradle went absolute nuts with Noble Hyrox and the tokens, you know.
Okay, rereading. Okay, so here we go. We were actually talking about this card right before the cast to make sure we get all the modes correct.
Good.
So you can select 2 out of 4, which is like you can scry for X and take a card. You can remove a creature with X or less mana value. You can remove X cards from any graveyard. And what was the last one?
And you can make a lot of tokens.
Oh, I like how
X
equals a lot.
Yeah, Eldrazi spawn tokens. People call this a new K command. What do you think about that?
Oh, come on. Cryptic is like completely out of this level. This is like not even close to Cryptic command.
Oh, I thought K command is
Kozilek's command.
No, it's Kolaghan's command is what I thought.
Oh, okay.
Right?
This is a lot closer to Kozilek's command. Okay, I was like, no, dude, this is like Cryptic command. No way.
Like K command used to be, yeah. Oh man, like it kind of hurts to say, but yeah, Kozilek's command is the new K command.
You know, it's kind of funny, like when you think about it.
So you better get used to it.
When you think about it. Kolaghan's command. No, wait, Kolaghan is not an Eldrazi. Who actually is Kolaghan?
It's a dragon. Like it's the...
oh, it's a Dragon Lord. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Dragon Lord.
Okay, that makes sense. I will listen to Dragon commands. Okay, so we dismembered the Reclaimer. Makes sense. So now Jon is basically sitting on a bunch of creatures, and I haven't seen the... Oh, is that another Natural Order and a Green Sun Senate? Oh, that's amazing. It's everything you ever want. Of course, having to pay for the Tabernacle is annoying because, as we see right now, we can only attack for 3, and that's exactly where Pablo wants to be. So yeah, it looks like it's... I don't want to say it works out well for Pablo, but like he's super happy with how the game is going right now, right? Considering what his opening hand looked like.
Yeah.
He gets to chill, attack for 3.
Yeah, the power of Tabernacle. It's like you don't necessarily have to kill all the creatures. Like if they get all tapped, then it kind of did the job already.
Oh, and this is where I feel like the game is really starting to shift. Like if Pablo finds anything usable here, something that's actually like decent. Ooh. Well, even just a waste. Nah, I mean Wasteland is not the greatest thing. It just like sets both players back a turn. There's a micro spawn. I keep calling it micro spawn. I'm not even sure. Like, how do you call it exactly? Micro. I should have just asked you and not like given you all those like bad names. It's just like completely cloud your mind at this point. It's just like a completely different name then. No, but that's a good one. Oh, and now we got all the mana on the board. Hello, sir. Yes, I would like to add 4 mana to my mana pool.
Sowing micro spawn.
That's the one. There we go. And it's going to be kicked as well. We're going to take out your land. We're going to take... Honestly, at this point, I kind of want to... Is it like a non-basic land that you... No, I was going to say you take out the basic land, right? And then you find the wasteland, and then you wasteland the bayou.
Oh, yeah, this is absolute... Oh, wow, this is... Yeah, this is double Stone Rain.
Dude, Legacy's so brutal at times.
Yeah, note that the that the land that gets like it doesn't get destroyed, it gets exiled, which is even worse, right? Like you can't regroup it with like something like Life from the Loam. It's permanently gone.
Oh, dude, and this is exactly what Pablo wants to see. Jon is like, he's like really desperate to find something. He wants to find a Cradle, so he's going for the Scryland, which of course is non-basic. And Pablo, actually, does he sit in another wasteland? No, actually, he doesn't. He says the Crozen Grip. You know what? We're gonna end the Crozen Grip, the game with Crozen Grip in hand at some point. I'm gonna make a bet. So we're gonna pay for all of our creatures. Oh, this is interesting. He's not even trying to attack. Oh, I guess you can't attack past the microspawn anyway, so it makes sense. So you'd rather have the black for, let's say, a discard spell. Yeah, like it.
Yeah, man, true Tabernacle control.
This is Tabernacle. Like you think you're Cradle control? No, this is Tabernacle.
It's
control.
almost like a land stack at this point, you know. And this is tough because like every turn Pablo gets here, like gets him closer to like a lethal Eldrazi of some sort. You know, Kozilek's command, the new K command for X equal like 6 or something is also devastating.
I think Kozilek's command is actually going to win the game in one way or another because we have so much mana. We can scry so hard. The funny thing is, you don't even want to remove one of Jon's creatures, right? Because like, what's the point anyway? They're gonna attack. They're gonna be tapped anyway. It's just
absolutely not.
So yeah, it's like they're not there any. I mean, the only reason those creatures do something for Jon is like if he draws a Cradle, then he's gonna have an instant burst of mana. But even then, not too excited. Okay, now we got like X equals 1. That's probably going to be a Reclaimer because the idea is that you're eventually going to Reclaimer into Cradle. It's just like the slowest thing in the world. Or are we going to get an Ignoble Hierarch to cast some... No, I don't think so. I guess the idea is you get another Exalter, so at some point the Dryad Arbor can start attacking. That's just like not a game plan. Yeah, you get the Reclaimer. Yeah, makes sense. Makes the most sense to me. Of course, the Reclaimer will need to be paid for. Oh, it's ugly. You can't even activate Reclaimer unless you're willing to sacrifice creatures. Maybe that's actually the plan. Yeah, and here comes the big one. Take out the Reclaimer. And probably Scry, I would guess. You already have all the mana in the world. Barely out of reach of our eyes. But Pablo... Oh, there's even Glacial Chasm. Wasn't sure whether that's in the deck.
Okay, put another Microspawn on top, it seems.
They must find Eye of Ugin then, right? Dude, I would have totally forgotten to pay for my Microspawn there.
Oh, yeah. Remember, it's a triggered ability on all your creatures.
Tapped Cloud Post and just pass the turn. No, I can't believe that. Yeah. You're going to take out one of your lands again. That's just like what we do in our Stone Rain deck. Eldrazi Stone Rain. That's just like... That already sounds frustrating.
That is...
It's like, what if we made Eldrazi's, but they also Stone Rain the opponents? Like, yeah. Thank you, Saturn. Must be Eye of Ugin, right? Oh, that's probably like something really cool that we just don't see because we're not 12 post players that you can do here. Oh, there's no Eye of... Oh, there's Eye of Ugin, second from the top. Oh, interesting. So maybe Pablo already has something really good in hand if he wants the second copy of Cloud Post. Now I'm curious. Maybe the idea is you already have like 2 swing, like you're already winning in 2 swings. So you want to do something else with the mana that you get. Dude, I really hope we find a target for this Crozen Grip. It's so sad.
Yeah, like the Microspawns look really good on this board. Like Jon is you know just busy tapping most of his creatures for the upkeep cost of Tabernacle, and there are like there are 2 3/3s.
As it happens, it's just good enough for Legacy, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Dude, I'm curious what this is going to be because he must have something big in hand. Oh, okay, yeah, GG. I would guess he's got like Mycosynth Lattice.
That's rough. Yeah, if Mycosynth Lattice gets out, then no mana can be tapped to pay for the Tabernacle cost, and Jon's going to lose his entire board. Or he gets shot in the head. 2 options. You pick your poison.
Yeah, you just showed, you know, I have like 17,000 mana. I can easily like shoot all of you. Okay, so second game goes to Pablo. So now we're gonna see how the third game. Look, I can't help myself. I still like Cradle control in the third game. I love Cradle decks against. I keep telling myself 12 post is slow, and then I learn better. So we will see.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this matchup is really interesting. Like this game 2 was much slower than the first game, and it really showed like the real power of Tabernacle against a deck that goes wide, right? Like I guess guys Cradle decks. So it's really cool to see.
Who's your favorite for the last game?
Honestly, I think the person who's on the play is like much
That's
favored.
The cheapest
Yeah,
answer.
but I feel like if Cradle Control can basically like duplicate the game number 1, you know, turn 1 mana dork into like turn 2 Wider Very Query Cradle stuff like that, and threaten like a turn 3 Natural Order, that'd be fantastic. Also, Thoughtseize is also like really nice. You know, if you can develop your board while Thoughtseizing your opponent.
The thing about Thoughtseize is it's the kind. If I'm on a play, it's the kind of card I want to cast on the second or the third turn.
Absolutely.
I don't want to cast it on the first turn because the things I'm gonna wanna hit, they're not gonna be played in the first turn anyway.
Oh yeah.
So I'd rather accelerate. If this is this is I want this so much.
We got the Ram. This is also like a one-off in the Cradle Control deck. It's a Lair of the Hydra. You don't get to see this card very often, but it's
The only thing that's annoying to me is, like, by not playing... I mean, obviously, Con couldn't do that, I guess. By not playing a Bayou in the first turn, it makes it so that I can't go turn 2, Creature, Thoughtseize, Cradle, because, like, I either play a Black Stars or I play a Cradle. But it looks like he doesn't have a Cradle anyway. So now... I think we saw the Knight and another Accelerator in hand. So we just start dumping our hands. While Pablo is probably slowly building up here. Help us out again. How big is the Knight? The Knight is equal to...
So Wider Very Query is gets +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard, which is currently 0. So it's a Grizzly Bear.
So it's dead. So
yeah.
just play the second turn. Okay. Here we go.
I like this second turn a lot, though. A lot of mana development.
Yeah, we copy the Cloud Post. Cloud Post can make 2 mana now.
Ooh, we have the Emrakul, the Eon's Thorn in hand. And again, there is the Frozen Grip.
It's going to do something, you know, at some point. Maybe it's going to get pitched to an Endurance or something. I don't know. Second Knight. Third Knight! Yeah. Okay, this is going to be really rough for Pablo. Like... Kai, walk me through this. Like, how does this usually work with the Knights? What do you do once you start untapping with Knights?
So, like, you can tap and sacrifice a creature to go get a land of your choice. The best land to get here is Gaia's Cradle, as you know, as Hong has like so many creatures out. He can probably pitch one of his redundant Wider Very Queries or the Reclaimer, which kind of does the same thing. I would probably keep the High Rocks around. You know, like they do add a lot of mana by themselves, and they also like give Exalted to something in case you can only attack with one creature.
But is there any kind of chain that you want to go into? Like, your chain is like, you start at a land, and then you want Cradle, and that's the end of the chain? Like, the chain is get Cradle. There's no crazy tricks.
Yeah, it's not a chain.
Like
it's rather like a toolbox of things you can get depending on the situation. But Gaia's Cradle is the one that pushes you the most. It has also like a lot of synergy with the Lair of the Hydra, which we can see on top of the mana base, right? You can make a gigantic
this could be over in a heartbeat.
Monster out of this, yeah.
So at this point, like, Pablo probably, like, what Pablo wants, but also doesn't want, is crop rotation into Glacial Chasm. And then still die 5 turns later. This is...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Is this good enough for Cradle? No way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is.
This is...
GG.
This is a Green Sun Zenith X equal 8 here. So unless there's a crop rotation or anything like that.
No. Show me the Cradle. Did you not side it out? I mean, people have done that in the past.
Okay.
GG.
Yeah, he's going for it. He is going for it.
He's reading it 4, 5, 6. It's 30, 35. And then I have no idea how big the knights are. 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's 42 damage or something. It's at least 42.
Yeah.
Although knights can't attack. Okay.
No, the guys have vigilance, right? It's like
of course, sure. I designed
Yeah,
the card. I
vigilance.
totally remember.
there's the Kozak's command. Or there's a little bit of hope. He can still scry his way through to potentially find a crop rotation. I think that's the only out he has.
I'm not sure if I would call that hope if I'm losing like 2/3 of my mana base. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
This is yeah. I mean, this has to find crop rotation. I don't think there is.
You know what would be really good here?
Fog.
Yeah, exactly. Much better. Moment's peace.
Moment's peace.
Moment's peace, dude. Or like constant mists and life from the loam. But then I guess you still lose with Jukaborg at some point.
Yeah. Moment's Peace used to be in Legacy decks like 10 years ago. I think Tony Murata played it in his...
You remember Truffle Shuffle? In 2010, that was all over Europe. Like, everybody wanted to play the Truffle Shuffle. And the Truffle Shuffle played 3 main deck Moment's Peace, at least in Europe it did. Which is like... Imagine if you crank out the old Moment's Peace. These like here, like Pablo's just like whatever, dude. Moment's Peace. Next turn, Moment's Peace. Turn after Moment's Peace. Just like 20 mana, make Ember
like,
cool.
Yeah, dude. Like Moment's Peace is kind of like the One Ring if you don't have the One Ring.
Yeah, so we have the One Ring at home.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Yeah, that's. I mean, we talked about right how, especially on the play, Cradle control must be favored here, and
yeah.
Pablo is showing some of the cards he had. Like he's probably like explaining why he kept that hand. And as you do, right, you sometimes keep a hand. You have like a game plan, and that game plan, of course, also involves what the opponent is gonna do or is not gonna do. And in this case, didn't really line up the way that Pablo would have needed the game to play out. But of course, can do in the second game.
Yeah.
Even in the first game, like I found that turn to ring super impressive.
Really aggressive. Yeah.
Aggressive
really
and impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome everyone. What's up? It's your boys, Julian and Kai from the Everyday Eternal podcast. Now
we
here
do a
in
podcast?
Spain.
We
Yeah,
do a
we
podcast
do have a podcast. You know, so after the stream, you know, if you got a little bit of time left, you might want to check it out on Spotify. All right. But for now, stick with us to this tournament here. We are in Spain. It's a beautiful weather outside. We got, you know, like the hall is like heated up with a lot of Magic players. There's several events going on today. We have the Spanish Legacy Nationals, which are broadcasting here live for you guys, and we're really happy to have you all on stream.
Awesome. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.